in the year 2023. In the year 2023, inflation has risen to an all-new high. Shortages of all types. There are two pertaining to food. Starvation, the masses crying out in hunger. Desperation sets in. No one works anymore. If they do, they're very, very lucky. Or maybe it's the dead that are lucky. Now, if you work for a small little tablet that keeps you alive for the day. You gotta keep coming back for more. It's rumored that it's reconstituted people mixed in with some bugs, grasshoppers, mealworms. There's rumors of farms, and those who were lucky enough to see them from a distance because of the guards and the drones and the constant military presence, the electric fences, the automatic machine guns, the machine gun turrets that shoot anything that moves, a leaf, a tree, a bunny, a bird. They all say the same thing. That it smells like shit. Animal shit, cow shit, pig shit. They can hear the squealing of all the cows and the pigs and the chickens way off in the distance. You can smell the food cooking, but nobody can get close enough. And if you can, you die. Or you're enslaved. Most people don't have the energy to move that far. Most people don't have the energy to run around and spy on the now totalitarian regime. Government means so much more now. If you work for the government, it means you don't have shit on you. If you're a person, you have shit all over you. You're smelly, you're dirty, you're sores. You got sores all over your bodies. Your hair's falling out, you're full of mange. Fleas, pestilence, leprosy. People are dying. People are falling apart. Walking skeletons. If they can walk. As long as they can walk. There are communities. There's a large community in Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, Florida, parts of Ohio, even out west in the remote reaches. But they're constantly at war with the government. The government's always leading raids upon them, and flying over with their drones and their planes and surveillance. And well, some of these communities can't do much. Some do actually have technology. Technology nowadays means something that entraps you, enslaves you. If you have a technology, it's because they gave it to you or they put it in you. That's how it started. These cell phones, video games, cell phones, video games and cell phones. Next thing you know, you're required to carry one for work. And then the government required you to carry one, with these constant updates and mandates. Now, most of the time, we just kind of lay around in hiding. It's best not to go outside. If you have food, you have water, don't let anybody know. For us regular day civilians, we live in fear of our neighbors. Our neighbors spy on us and tell on us. If you can give some, it's like Crime Stoppers. If you can rat your neighbor out or somebody, and it results in a arrest or a reconditioning, then you get a little food. They make this cheese. They call it cheese. It's more like a green fermented bug juice. Some say that it's dog's milk that's been fermented. I have a dog, and it's a female. She's unfixed. I don't milk her, but no one knows that. They think I do. A lot of people do that. They have dogs just to milk them and to have their babies, to eat them. I refuse to eat my dog. There's even been 3-legged dogs that walk around. Anyway, things have really, really changed. Yeah. At any point in time, somebody could bang on the door. Everyone's in fear of the calling, he who knocks at the door. Sometimes they come in to see if you're hoarding, to see if you have any contraband. And anything can be contraband. Anything. Pieces of art, books, reading material, any kind of. If you have a computer, some people hung on to their computers and kind of played their DVDs and a little link to the past of how things used to be. Pictures, photographs of family. The days of the old days of social media when you could get 1,000 likes for being stupid on TikTok or something, or Facebook. Showing pictures of food was a common thing. Now there's no social media. There's only the control. And control only broadcast. They do monitor you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. While you're eating, while you're sleeping, while you're shitting, while you're taking a shower. Or, if you can take a shower. Usually showers like once a week. some places they have shower centers, and it's more of a dust shower. They have compressed air that dries them off, cleans them off. But uh, disease runs rapid. A lot of skin parasites. You have to there's no creams or antibiotics. There's no medicine. Um, there are a few of us that hang on to the old ways and know how to use things that we harvest from the ground. That seems to be the only way that we find comfort. We have to hide everything. Everything is hidden. You have a if you have a cigarette, you better hang on to it and hide it. If you're making liquor, beer, which is relatively easy to make, then it's best to get drunk and by yourself. Oftentimes, there'll be some type of gathering, which is quickly expelled, quickly locked on upon. It's constant surveillance wherever you go. Some even say there's cameras inside our homes, but you know, most of the surveillance is inside of us. There are some of us that took it out, or they dug up somebody that could take it out for a small fee, a body part or something. Usually, if you see somebody missing a hand or an eye or something or an ear, then you know that they're also missing their tracking device. The control got hip to this too, and started rounding those people up and doing investigations on them. So these people that take out these controlling the control chips, they go into hiding. It's even rumored. This was rumored even back in the day, back in the early 2020s, that there was the gangs of China, of the great Chinese Empire, the Ming, and all these weird little gangs, these Chinese gangs. They had a box, right? There was surveillance everywhere, and they could track you. They could track your face. They could track facial recognition, body algorithms, your voice patterns. They could track you throughout the whole country, the whole nation, even. And these gangs had these little boxes that they would wear, like right here. And what it did is it scrambled the surveillance cameras. And not only could it scramble, but you could assume the identity of somebody else. So you could literally walk down one street and be Joe Blow Schmuckatelli, walk down another street and be Schmuckatelli Joe Maroni. It was quite strange. There's that technology still exists, and there's also these other hackers, if you will, that are able to hack the control of the people and control them. The way that controls people is through pain stimuli, massive headaches, migraines, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and just overall generally just feeling like crap. Uh, your pain, the pain threshold in your body, all your muscles tense up and squeeze, and oh, they can actually freeze you if they wanted you to stop. So if you're trying to run away, they could say stop, like you've been tased, but from the inside. Such was the control. Very few cars. If you owned a car, it's because you worked for a company or a corporation that required you to have a car, and you never really drove the car. It was you punched in a destination and it took you there. Trucks. There was a lot of trucks, autonomous trucks that would just run up and down the highways and the byways. The streets here around the cities are pretty much desolated. There's no cars. There's no bikes. There's no skateboards. There's nobody has the energy. Every now, if a car comes through, it's somebody working for the corporation or it's control, and they're coming. They also have helicopters and drones and a bunch of other things that they that they utilize. So, it's a strange new world, a brave new world. At any time, you could be called upon to go see the tribunal, talk to your area controller, and he or she could deem you worthy of serving them, or to serve them in other ways. Those who are healthy enough and pretty enough, they serve the controllers in a sexual manner, and they usually are traumatized greatly from it. It's a very sadistic kind of thing. They do a lot of torture and rape and bondage and burning and mutilations, and so some people don't come back, but those who stick it out and continue to service their controllers are rewarded handsomely with a bug patty or a loaf of green cheese, this gelatinous green cheese material. It has the texture of cheese, but not the taste. Oh, long are the days that I dream of cheese. But guns? There's no guns. They have guns. We don't. There is a resistance. An underground. They exist to fight and to survive. They try to liberate us from the matrix, so to speak. And everybody is so fearful, starved, malnourished, afraid, unable to even lift a finger to pull the trigger. There's no school. There is a school. It's a re-education school. It's where you're taught how to be right. You have to have right speak, right thought. And those that come back from there are never the same. It's obvious they have more chips in them, more control in them. That's what it is. And every now and then you catch a glimpse of the control ball in the sky. It's this massive, massive ball, blinking lights. They say that's where the heads of state and the elites work. Every now and then things come out of it and fly around and buzz around and look at you and fly away. And then something comes and grabs you. A couple folks grab you and throw you in the back of one of their automaton vans, and off they go, never to be seen again. Sundown, everybody goes inside. Nobody's allowed outside. If they're outside, they're quickly arrested and questioned and interrogated and tortured and never to be seen again. But there is people out there. People like you and me. It's when you can go into the woods, forage, as long as you stay out of the thermals. They have so many sensors. They have an eye in the sky, orbiting at all times. I can tell you the date on a dime. They can find a mouse hiding in a freaking field all the way up in space, just by the thermals. So any kind of reflective mylar or whatever, it's very, very important. And nighttime is the time to go, because if you do that during the day, you're just going to burn up. And they're going to see you. But it is possible. A lot of people have taken to tunneling. There's a lot of tunneling going on. A lot of people live underground, kind of free. Yeah, they kind of get their groove on down there. But they live like rats. That's what they tell us anyway. They live like rats. The resistance has been known to go there and operate. They say there's so many people down there, and they just keeps growing and growing. But they have to make sure that, because even if you took out all the control, you just might have an implant in you somewhere that tracks you and you don't know about it. So they got to screen you, and they got to take things out of you, make sure that you're not one of them. And then, and only then, can you be assimilated into the free society that is the resistance, that is the rat town, the underground. They say there's so many people there, and then it's growing so big that the rumor is that one day they'll rise up and take out control and end this pestilence. Give us our freedom. There's others that say, nah, it's probably just going to be another form of control. There was some rebelliousness going on, and they got quickly squashed. They sent a fleet of robot dogs and swarms of drones And you know, it didn't end well. There's a lot of dead bodies. A lot of dead bodies. Those dogs. They can sight you in at like 3 miles away and put a bullet in you. The drones, the drone sworn, they can just fly down and just bam. They hit you with poison darts, automatic. There's every square inch of ground is covered. There's no escape. Any kind of cover you take, they're just going to go around it. And it was so many of them. The resistance at the time, the rebelliousness had, I think it had like 50,000 people, all armed, in good shape. Still had all their teeth, all their body parts. And they were ready. They were ready to take on the control. They had enough. They made guns. They found guns. They took guns. They stole guns from control themselves. They raided a few of the control facilities, but they just didn't count on the. They rumor it was like 1 million dogs and 1 million drones, and just came in and just boom, systematically took out everybody. Truly amazing. And there was nobody from control there. Just they're robots. Amazing. But there's rumors that you can capture one of these dogs and hack them. Turn them against him. A lot of countries. There's no countries anymore, mind you. There are resistance in the countries, the exiled countries, if you will. They exist within their countries that are no longer countries. There's no more borders. Everybody is the same. Starved and downtrodden and controlled. If you're growing food, they will find you. And they will take your food. They'll take whatever means you had to make food. The water is not safe to drink anymore. It's radiated. It's been irradiated for a long time. There's poison in it. Venom? Snake venom? I don't so much biologicals nowadays. Some folks could move on up into the society because there's a caste. Most people are starved and downtrodden, but those who work for control and the control pets, they can sell their children if they're healthy enough, and get a sweet little apartment that has food in it and water. Even have an entertainment system. Most of us don't have that. We just have a room. It's more like a closet, really. There's no toilet paper. There's no coffee. And those kids that they sell, those are the ones that they experiment on. I dated a girl that she worked in one of the control facilities where they were messing with the kids, and she said it was crazy. She's seen these kids walking around. One had blue skin, One had looked like he had big fungus growing out of his body. Crazy. It's like mutants. They're, one kid had a horn and covered his body in horns, and just, missing parts. Mutilated and misshapen faces, all of them. Missing faces. But mommy and daddy or mommy or daddy, there's really no family. That's the thing too. There's no family. Sometimes people get together, but they always break them up. They always say one per box. One per box. You go to your box. That's where I am. I'm in my box. But little do they know, oh shit. Oh shit. Shh. Let them pass. Okay. That was scary. They shoot to kill. Yeah, cops are no joke now. The control cops, they just shoot you. They grab you, they throw you around, they question you. They usually yell and cuss at you, beat you while they're doing it. If you're doing anything wrong, they just kill you. That's the way it works. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, in my box. Living in my little box. They don't know that I'm connected to the box next door. And that box is connected to the box below them, and below them. And then the one to the next, and the one to the next. So we can run around all these boxes. They just don't know. They open right up. We hide them. We hide them in what little junk we have. Living like little pack rats in our little boxes. Sometimes we can escape the city and go see the woods and the trees. Gotta be careful though. They've got drones out there. They got predator drones. Literally, we call them owls because they just kind of hover and fly in the woods, and just you never see them until it's too late. Yeah, silent unless you hear them. That's it. Sounds like a very big bumblebee. Oh, and they've got the stealth. It's nothing fancy really. It's just some corrugated screen, and you can't see them. If you look at them, it's kind of pixelated, almost like the Predator, but it's like horizontal lines or diagonal lines or something. But if they're totally still, can't see them, and they usually are. They usually just sit there, and they move. It's like they monitor you, and they see your perspective and where you're looking. And if you look at them, they stop. But you don't know you're looking at them because you can't see them. But sometimes you can see them moving because that little pixelation moves. Disturbance in the force, if you will. Unseen blob. So like, oh shit. Yeah. A friend of mine found one that fell. Must have malfunctioned. And he looked at it. It's this freaking big ass drone, all these clickings and whirlings and all these eyeballs. He said soon after that, 3 more come flying towards it. Picked it up and took it away. He had to run it. He had to hid behind a tree. Sometimes you can go in the woods, and if you know where these things are, where they operate, then you can kind of circumnavigate them. Pick some grass, find a bunny. Anything bigger than a dog, it gets slaughtered. They just kill it. In remote areas, there's bear, there's deer, there's tigers, and stuff like that. But around the cities, there's a huge area of the dead. a no man's land, a no living land. Only the smallest and smartest survive. Anything that is remotely human form that tries to go in or out of the city that is unauthorized just gets shot. Just don't do it. Can't do it. You can, but it's like a mile wide circle around every city. It's covered in woods and trees, and it's beautiful. The cities, the prisons. Sometimes they do a roundup, a muster, if you will, and they require everyone in the building to come outside, and you have to come outside. And they come inside and kind of search the area real quick. Luckily for us, most of the people that work for Control are people that used to be us, the starved and downtrodden. And so they don't really give a shit about their job. They push a button. They work at technology. That's all they do. And they're easily paid off if it's got money. But nobody has money. Money nowadays is any kind of odds and ends and trinkets you can find, digging in the dirt, digging in the trash, in the rubble. Anything shiny, mirrors. Any kind of good mirror. A cell phone. Even though it doesn't work. This cell phone doesn't work. It's just made for me to make recordings. But that's what we do now. I make a recording, and then I give it to somebody else who has a cell phone, and he records my recording, and he in turn passes it on to somebody else who has a cell phone or computer, an old one, right? One that's not hooked up. Because anything with Wi-Fi, they track and they come and get you. So all that's been disconnected, and it's nothing in it. Very dystopian social media, if you ask me, but it's pretty cool. At least we have that. And every now and then you get a spicy little tidbit from the Resistance, or we get to see what Control is doing. Little video or something that somebody took at one of their places, when they're internment camps or farms. Those who work at the farm, they go there for, they say, hey, we're going to recruit you for the farm. Hey, you get to work on a farm. Like, oh, goody, I get to play with food and dirt and get to eat good. And they always come back in a worse shape. And they say they were never fed anything but the same. Just a little bit more. because they were working. See, if you're working, you get a little bit more because you need it, right? Otherwise, barely enough to survive. You're constantly hungry, but you get over it. You know, you find things to eat just to eat. Just to chew, put something in your mouth and chew it and swallow it. Feel full. Doesn't matter what it is. A lot of people do that. Pillow stuffing. You just puke it back up. At least they felt full for a while. You're always constantly thirsty. Always. The water that's provided for you, it's barely enough. There's a governor on everything. If I go use the bathroom, there's no water in the toilet. If you can call it a toilet, it's just a hole. It's a little hole. It looks like the same size of a toilet, but it's a pipe that sticks up, ceramic, and I do my business in there. It's no toilet paper. So you got to poop a little differently, but what you're eating is it's designed to come right out of you. No mess, no fuss, no odor. Yeah. But we and they monitor it. They monitor it. It's usually just by the building, and they find some kind of anomaly, like a meat byproduct in the fecal matter machine. Then they'll lock it all down. So if you're going to eat meat or anything that you forage out in the woods or just growing. Some of us grow things in our windows. You have to be careful though. What you do is I'll show you. See that little slither of light? You have to crack your window where just a little bit of sunlight comes out. And it falls on your plant. Your plant, that's all it gets, because you can't put it in the windowsill. Because somebody will see it. And then they'll come for you. So you gotta hide it. So it's very hard. It's very hard to grow anything, but you can do it. You can do it. Some people use piss or spit. Me and my dog, we take our piss and our spit and sometimes our sweat, and we'll filter it a little bit and put it on the plant. Grow something. Yeah, me and my dog, we get out, we venture around. We know a trail. We know a way that we can go that nobody knows. There's no drones. It appears that the drones can't fly through there because of some type of, I don't know, magnetic anomaly or something. I don't know. It's rumored that it's part of the resistance thing, that they have these little things set up where any kind of drones come up, they just fall out of the sky, like a drone fence. They have them too. Well, in the beginning, the control had them. They would set up the net, and they would stop anyone from flying drones in. Back in the day, we had drones. Now only control has drones, but the resistance appears to have these devices where drones can't go. And they disable a drone or something, and they'll take it and repurpose it, or whatever. But me and my charity know this area. It's down a creek, you know, and you have to be careful, you know. Never know who's watching. So we go down there. We find little things to eat: snakes, bunny rabbits, fish, little bitty fish, even some bugs, birds. Anything that's small enough that the drones can't find. You know, they know it too. The animals know it too, and they go there. They know where the havens are. So it's good to know nature, even in this rat city. But, oh, and I have a bow and arrow I made. And it was funny. We found the corpse of a ancient hunter, and he had a bunch of arrows, fiberglass arrows with steel heads. The heads were rusty. We took a rock and, you know, cleaned them all up. You know, I had to make I had to make some basically, it's like WD-40. I took a bunch of fish and squeezed them out, squeezed them all together, got all the juices out and oils out of them, and that was my WD-40. And of course, we ate the fish, bones and all. Grind them up, make a pie. You know. But with the bows and arrows, we can really get some bigger game. And so the biggest problem now is to try to look sickly. Yeah, I have to pretend to be sickly. I wear very baggy clothes. You know, I bathe in the creeks, so we're always clean. But I have, like, you know, I get some mud, smear it on my face. You know, I always shade my eyes. You gotta watch your eyes around here. That's how they track you. They do it with your facial recognition, and then they look into your eyes. They even have signs on certain cameras. Look here, you know. They want you to look, you know. You gotta open your eyes. And keep walking. If not, of course, you get tackled. Tackled and questioned and tortured and interrogated. And off to the farm you go. Yeah, it's a strange time here. Strange time indeed. These cities, we get these videos, like I said, these videos, and it's from other cities mostly. You know, we have runners. I've thought about becoming a runner. I don't know if I'm strong enough though. I know my area, and I'm hoping that maybe, you know, the resistance can you know, recruit me, because I know the area. I know this route in and out of the city, which I dare not show anyone, even to help them, because, you know, your neighbors are not your friends. Only a select few. You know, vetted and trusted. And even then, everybody is very suspicious of everyone. Yeah. It's a strange time indeed. And who would have all thought that, you know, this would have happened? Klaus Schwab, the Overlord. You're Schwabland. Everybody walks around in funny hats. Everybody smells good. Yeah, they look like aliens. They're all implanted too. Every one of them. They can literally walk up to each other and just stare at each other. And what they're doing is they're downloading. You know, Elon Musk really came up with something when he put a chip in somebody. Basically, he put a cell phone in somebody's head. Talking became obsolete. You could just literally walk up to somebody and just boom, download, connect and download. You know, and it just intel dump of everything, videos, live streams, documents, text messages, everything. Boom, done, everything right there. Bam. I look at somebody, and they can either decide whether or not to download or not. Interface, download. And they just look at each other. That's all they do. No facial expressions or nothing. Nothing's needed. None of it's needed. It's all done through the download. They do have something they call Unplug Day. That's pretty neat. They all switch off, or control switches off, and they get to walk around and talk. They don't like it. They don't like talking. Of course, they don't do it a lot, so it's like it's kind of funny to watch them. But they also have a lot of sex and do weird things to each other. Yeah, it's kind of strange. Yeah, but yeah, Unplugged Day is fun to watch. I've seen the videos. They don't know what to do. You see people crying. You see people yelling. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, you see some people keep staring at each other, going, "Download, damn it, download! Why won't you download?" Wow, really? Yeah. We don't have that luxury here. We're the lower class. We're the workers. We're the servants. We're the serfs. We're the pets. But yeah, they have all that craziness going on. Oh, they're nice and clean. They get funny little suits on. Everything's clean. So everybody just kind of walks around, or they roll around in their little, segways, hoverboards. If they walk, chairs, just kind of float around, do their thing. Just, have their little driverless cars, all electric. Yeah. Tomorrowland. Crazy. Oh, they eat meat. They have the cow, they have the chicken, they have the pig. Yeah. We don't. They say there's pigs in the tunnels. They keep pigs down there. Bacon. Man. Long are the days that I dream of bacon. I'm growing a potato right now. Yeah. Just one. It's behind my cupboard. Very, very dark place. And I've cut out a slit. And it's directly in line with my shades, and I can just pull back a little bit of slither of light that goes in there. right behind my cupboard, there's this little green leaf stem that comes out. I know it's growing in there. I had me some potato. Yeah. Me and my dog both. It's gonna be great. I'd done it once before and it didn't work out well. All these ants came out of nowhere and started eating the thing. There's no pest control either. Nothing. Their idea of pest control is just to radiate, microwave everything. Yeah. A lot of people that used to keep pets, when they would come through and do their pest control, basically you have to leave the building, and people would hide their pets in the walls or something, and they would irradiate the whole building, and their pets would literally bake, catch on fire in the walls. So when that happens, we leave. I get Charity to the creek, and I come back. So I can show up for muster. Okay, I'm here. Most of the time, nobody cares though. Everybody knows I have a dog. They have dogs. They think I'm using the dog for food. Yeah. They also, one of the nasty things that people do nowadays is they eat their dog droppings, their pet droppings. That's if they love their dog or their pet, they eat the droppings of their dog. They'll send their dog out. And the dogs are pretty smart. They'll gather up in packs, go out to the woods, hunt, come back. And people will eat their droppings. Like closest thing you get to meat around here, other than eating your dog or your cat or gerbil or your rat or whatever kind of little pet you have. It's funny how we are their pets. We are the control pets, and then we have our own pets that we control. Me and my dog have a different kind of relationship. We hunt together. We are a pack, and we will actually kill some other dogs too. Dogs and cats, and we'll sit down right there and have us a nice fire and eat. It's got to be a Dakota fire. Got to make a Dakota hole. You got to dig a hole and cook it that way. Pray that nobody else is out there that smells it or sees the thermals. So it's a very dystopian world we live in now. It's a very strange time. I just hope that, my only hope is that the resistance notices me and that control doesn't. Because if control ever notices me, knows what I'm up to, they'll come for me. If resistance finds me, we can leave this godforsaken place. And at least we'll be free. I don't know. That's what I hope. But I hear when you join the resistance, it's more work. See, we're not used to work. We lay around. We walk, Me and my dog work. We go out, we do things, we interact with people in different ways. It's not a very active society. Activity is a dead giveaway that you are healthy and should be questioned. So like I said, any given time they can come for you. It's And no, they have the keys to the door. I can lock it up. I can barricade it all I want. You know, they fill this thing with gas. I go to sleep. First, they hit the kill switch, the good night switch. I'm supposed to go to sleep. And if that doesn't work, they send in the gas, and then they send in the drones, and then somebody walks in and grabs my body and my dog, and that's it. Off to the farm I go. Be fed to the pigs. You never know these things. This is the life we live now. Crazy times. And who would have thought that this whole WEF thing and Potato Joe and all that this was our future? We didn't see the writing on the walls, huh? Oh, man. I better be quiet. Somebody might hear me. You never know these things. Do you smell that? Do you smell it? I don't know what it smells like. Oh shit! Oh,